Money. For so many folks, that single word carries a heavy weight. Sleepless nights, arguments around the kitchen table, a constant nagging worry in the back of the mind. People work hard every single day. They feel like they're spinning their wheels. Bills piling up. No savings to show for it. Lost in a thick fog. No map, no compass. This stress robs you of your peace, keeps you from living the life you were meant to live. A burden no one should have to carry, yet millions do. But what if you could lift that weight? What if there was a simple, clear path out of the financial fog? There is. No fancy degree in economics required. No complicated spreadsheet that makes your head spin. A straightforward guideline. The 50-30-20 rule. A powerful, simple tool to take back control of your money. A clear blueprint to divide your income. Permission to spend responsibly. So, what exactly is this 50-30-20 rule? Let's get right to it and lay it out in the simplest terms possible. The rule is a guideline for dividing up your after-tax income each month. Think of your paycheck after the government has taken its share. That's the money you actually have to work with. The rule suggests you allocate that money into 3 distinct buckets. First, 50% of your income should go toward your needs. Second, 30% is allocated for your wants. And third, the final 20% is dedicated to savings and paying off debt. That's it. 50, 30, 20. It's easy to remember and even easier to calculate. The beauty of this framework is its clarity. It forces you to look at your money with intention. Instead of your paycheck just landing in your bank account and then mysteriously disappearing as bills and random purchases pop up, you now have a deliberate plan for every single dollar. This isn't about restriction, it's about direction. It helps you see exactly where your hard-earned money is going and gives you a benchmark to measure against. It provides you with clear boundaries that help you make conscious, guilt-free spending decisions while still making consistent progress toward your financial goals. Let's be clear about what we mean by after-tax income, because that's the cornerstone of this whole plan. This is the net amount you see on your pay stub, often called your take-home pay. It's the money that actually hits your checking account after federal, state, and local taxes, Social Security, and Medicare have been deducted. If you accidentally use your gross income, the bigger number at the top of your pay stub before taxes, your budget will be off from the very start, leading to frustration and the feeling that the plan isn't working. The first and largest portion of your budget, the 50% bucket, is reserved for your needs. These are the absolute essentials, the non-negotiable expenses you must pay to live and work. Think of these as the 4 walls of your financial house: housing, utilities, food, transportation. These are the costs that keep a roof over your head, the lights on, food in your belly, and get you to your job. This category also includes other mandatory expenses like health insurance premiums, basic phone service, and the minimum required payments on any debts you have, like a car loan or student loans. These are not the fun purchases, but they are the foundation of a stable life. Distinguishing a true need from a want is one of the most important skills in budgeting. For example, rent or a mortgage payment is a need. However, wanting to live in a luxury apartment in the most expensive part of town might be leaning into want territory. Groceries are a need, but dining out at a fancy restaurant every night is a want. A basic, reliable car to get to work might be a need if public transit isn't an option. But a brand new luxury SUV with all the bells and whistles is definitely a want. Being brutally honest with yourself here is key to making the 50-30-20 rule work. What happens if your needs add up to more than 50% of your take-home pay? Don't panic. This is actually a very common situation, especially for people living in high cost of living areas or those with a lower income. This is not a sign of failure. It's a red flag telling you where you need to focus your attention. If your needs are too high, it puts a major squeeze on the rest of your budget, leaving little room for fun or, more importantly, for saving. This is a clear signal that you might need to make some bigger changes, like finding a cheaper place to live, getting a roommate, or looking for ways to reduce your core bills. This might mean shopping around for cheaper car insurance, calling your cable and internet provider to negotiate a better rate, or becoming more strategic with your grocery shopping to reduce food waste. Every dollar you can trim from your needs bucket is a dollar that can be redirected to paying off debt faster or building your savings. Taming this category is the first and most critical step toward gaining control of your finances and opening up breathing room in your budget. Now we get to the fun part, the 30% of your income allocated for wants. This is the money that adds flavor, joy, and richness to your life. Wants are things you enjoy but don't need to survive. Morning coffee at the local cafe, Netflix subscription, Spotify subscription, dinners out with friends, tickets to a concert or a movie, new clothes that aren't replacing something essential, hobbies, vacation travel. This is the lifestyle part of your budget, incredibly important. Many people who try to budget cut out all their wants, thinking that's the only way to get ahead. A budget with no room for enjoyment is like a diet with no flavor. You might stick to it briefly. Eventually, you'll feel deprived and give up, often leading to a spending binge. The 50-30-20 rule builds in this 30% for wants, a guilt-free fund for things that make you happy. The key is to be conscious and intentional. With 30% for fun, you don't have to feel guilty about ordering takeout or buying a new video game. This lets you enjoy spending without compromising financial security. It encourages prioritization. Decide which wants matter most to you. Maybe you don't need several streaming services. Cancel a few and save for a weekend trip. This category offers the most flexibility. When money gets tight, or you want to speed up savings for a goal, cut from wants first. You can dial them up or down month to month. Track this spending. It's often eye-opening. You might discover you're spending a surprising amount on low-joy items, freeing up cash for what truly matters. Freeing up cash for what truly matters. The final 20% of your income is arguably the most powerful part of this entire plan. This is the money that works for your future. This bucket has two primary jobs: building your savings, aggressively paying down debt. This is how you break the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. It creates a safety net for emergencies, and it starts long-term wealth building. Neglecting this category is like building a house with no foundation. Eventually, it all comes crashing down. Committing to setting aside this 20% every month is non-negotiable for financial peace. First priority, inside this 20%. Build an emergency fund. A stash for life's curveballs. Car repair, medical bill, sudden job loss. Initial goal, save at least $1,000. Next goal, 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. This fund is insurance against debt. Pay with cash, not a high-interest credit card. That choice keeps you from digging deeper. Once the emergency fund exists, attack high-interest debt. Target credit card balances, personal loans, other high-interest debt. Minimum payments keep you trapped. Extra principal payments cut years and save thousands in interest. Paying off a card for good frees up monthly cash, a huge win. After consumer debt is gone and the emergency fund is full, direct the 20% to long-term goals, 401k or Roth IRA, down payment on a house, investing for your children's education. This is where compound growth makes your money work for you. Theory is nice, but let's see how this works in the real world with some actual numbers. Let's imagine a person named Sarah who brings home $3,000 per month after all taxes and deductions. This is her net income, the amount she has to work with. Applying the 50-30-20 rule, we can quickly calculate her target budget for each category. It's simple math. You just multiply her take-home pay by the percentages. This gives Sarah a clear, simple blueprint for her monthly spending plan and tells her exactly how much she can afford to spend in each area. Here's how Sarah's budget breaks down according to the rule. 50% for needs, $3,000 times 0.5 equals $1,500. 30% for wants, $3,000. times 0.3 equals $900, 20% for savings/debt. $3,000 times 0.2 equals $600. They are the guardrails that will help her make financial decisions throughout the month. Her goal is to keep her spending within these limits. This simple calculation takes the guesswork out of budgeting and replaces it with a clear, actionable plan. Now, Sarah needs to track her actual spending for a month to see how it compares to her targets. She lists out her expenses and discovers the following: rent, $1,200, utilities, $200, groceries, $300, car payment and insurance, $350. When she adds these up, her total needs come to $2,050. This is $550 over her $1,500 target. This is a huge red flag. It shows that her core living expenses are eating up nearly 68% of her income, leaving very little for anything else. This discovery, while discouraging at first, is incredibly empowering. For the first time, Sarah knows exactly what the problem is. Her needs are too high. She decides to look for a roommate to split her rent, which would save her $600 per month. She also shops around for car insurance and finds a plan that saves her $50 a month. These two changes alone bring her needs down to $1,400, which is now comfortably within her 50% target. Getting started with the 50-30-20 rule can feel like a big change, but you can begin today with a few simple, manageable steps. Your goal for the first 30 days is not to be perfect. It's to gather information and build awareness. The first step is to figure out your exact monthly after-tax income. Look at your pay stubs or bank statements from the last couple of months and find the consistent amount that gets deposited. This is your starting number. Once you have it, do the simple multiplication. Multiply it by 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2 to find your target spending amounts for each category. The next step is to track every single dollar you spend for the next 30 days. You can use a simple notebook you carry in your pocket, a notes app on your phone, or a dedicated budgeting app. It doesn't matter what tool you use as long as you are diligent. Write down everything: the pack of gum, the morning coffee, the online subscription, the utility bill. Every single outflow of cash needs to be recorded. At first, this may feel tedious, but it is the only way to get a true picture of where your money is actually going. At the end of the 30 days, it's time to categorize your spending. Go through your list of expenses and assign each one to one of the three buckets: needs, wants, savings/debt. Be honest with yourself during this process. That daily latte is a want, not a need. Once everything is categorized, add up the totals for each bucket. Now you can compare your actual spending to the 50-30-20 targets you calculated at the beginning. This is your moment of truth. You will likely find some surprises, and that's okay. Maybe you'll notice that you're spending a fortune on takeout and decide to cook a few more meals at home next month. Perhaps you'll see a subscription you forgot you were even paying for. Based on what you've learned, pick one or two small, manageable things to change for the next month. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Small, consistent changes are what lead to lasting success. As you begin to implement the 50-30-20 rule, it's helpful to be aware of some common mistakes that can trip people up. One of the most frequent errors is using your gross income instead of your after-tax net income. This immediately inflates your budget categories and sets you up for failure. Always double-check your pay stub and use the take-home pay figure as the foundation for all your calculations. Another major pitfall is lifestyle creep within the needs category. This happens when you start classifying wants as needs. For example, you might tell yourself you need a new car or that you need the premium cable package with 500 channels. It's essential to be ruthlessly honest when categorizing your expenses. A roof over your head is a need. A roof in the fanciest neighborhood with a swimming pool is likely a want. Failing to make this distinction is why the 50% for needs can get bloated. Many people also make the mistake of ignoring their small, everyday purchases. They track rent and car payment but don't write down $5 coffee, $3 snack from the vending machine, $10 lunch. They think these small amounts don't matter, but these little leaks can sink a big ship. A $5 coffee every workday adds up to over $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year that could have gone to paying off a credit card or building an emergency fund. Tracking every dollar, no matter how small, is crucial. Finally, a huge mistake is letting perfection be the enemy of progress. Some people get overwhelmed if their numbers don't line up perfectly with the 50-30-20 ratios in the first month. They feel like they've failed and give up entirely. Remember, this rule is a guideline, not a strict law. Life happens. Some months might be more expensive than others. The goal is not to be perfect overnight, but to make steady progress in the right direction. If your needs are at 60%, work on getting them to 58%, then 55%. Celebrate small wins and keep moving forward. The 50-30-20 rule is more than just a set of percentages. It's a tool for transformation. It takes the complex and often emotional topic of personal finance and makes it simple, clear, manageable. By providing a straightforward framework for your money, it replaces confusion with clarity and anxiety with a sense of control. It helps you build the foundational habits of budgeting and saving. This isn't just about moving numbers around on a page. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with money so that you are in charge of it, not the other way around. The benefits extend far beyond your bank account. When you have a plan for your money, a weight is lifted from your shoulders. You stop worrying about how you'll cover the next bill because you already have a plan for it. You can make spending decisions with confidence and without guilt. You are taking care of your responsibilities, enjoying your life, building for the future. This financial peace trickles into every other area of your life, improving your relationships, your health, your overall well-being. It gives you the freedom to dream again about big goals like buying a home, starting a business, retiring with dignity. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment to start. You don't need to wait until you get a raise or until things calm down. The perfect moment is right now with the resources you currently have. Start small. The journey to financial freedom begins with a single step. All you need to do today is commit to trying this for 1 month. Just one. Give yourself 30 days to learn without judgment. Track your spending, categorize it, and see what the numbers have to tell you. So here is your call to action. Right now, take out your phone or a piece of paper. Find out what your monthly take-home pay is. Calculate your 50-30-20 targets. Commit to track your very next purchase.